Nature Time with Nicole and Julia. I'm Julia. Since people are staying inside right now, the Hudson Highlands Land Trust is bringing nature to you. I'm standing in my backyard and I'm going to show you how to use iNaturalist, a free app that helps you identify and record the flora and fauna that you observe. Have you ever wondered what's growing in your backyard, or which bird is visiting your feeder, or what bug that is crawling on your walkway? Well, iNaturalist can help. With iNaturalist, you take and upload a photo, and the app then uses photo recognition software to help you identify what it was. Next, you upload it to a database, and a network of people help to confirm the identification or provide a different identification. iNaturalist can also group observation into projects, which are aggregations of observations. These are based on user-defined categories, and organizations such as the Hudson Highlands Land Trust use these to inform management decisions. We have the Granite Mountain Preserve Biodiversity Project, which helps us to understand the flora and fauna of Granite Mountain based on what you, the user, sees. Other projects include Flowering Plants of New York to create a database of photographs of flowers throughout New York State, Invasive Plants of New York and New Jersey, and Amphibians and Reptiles of New York. There are hundreds of other projects that you can discover by visiting iNaturalist.org. Let's take a walk through to see how to use iNaturalist. I am an iPhone user, so this demonstration will be done on my iPhone. And if you are an Android user, the use of the app will be slightly different. However, HHLT has created guides to using iNaturalist on both iPhone and Android softwares, so you can download that app to help you better understand how to use it on your phone. If you do not have the iNaturalist app already downloaded, navigate to your phone's app store and search for iNaturalist. It should be the first thing that comes up after you search for it, and it'll be this green bird in the white box. So if we select that, it opens my iNaturalist home screen. Your home screen will look slightly different depending on how many observations you have, or if you have no observations, this will be more of a white screen. So to get started with an observation, we're going to select the gray camera at the bottom that says Observe. So I'm going to press that. It's going to bring up a camera on my screen. You can see on the bottom right there's a photos icon, those two rectangles. If I selected that, I could upload a previously taken photo. However, since I'm out in the field, I'm going to go ahead and take a photo now. So I have this plant in front of me that I'd like to know what it is and record an observation. So I'm going to select the green camera button when I'm content with my angle. And you can see it took the photo, and I can either decide to retake that photograph if I was unhappy with it, or I can select next, which is what I'll do now. This will bring up the details screen. So we're going to walk through this details screen. You can see at the top, there is my photograph. On the left-hand side of the photo, there's a plus button. If I pressed that, I could add a second photo of what I was observing. This could be useful if you thought there were other key identifying factors to that particular plant or animal or other observation. Next, I'm going to click on What Did You See? And so iNaturalist is going to use its photo recognition software and its large library of observations to try to figure out what I saw and give me suggestions. So you can see that iNaturalist is pretty sure of the genus of my plant. Sometimes the photo recognition software gets you all the way to species, sometimes it keeps you at a higher level, depending on how good your photograph is and how easily the thing is to identify. So, in addition to what they're pretty sure of, they give me 10 species suggestions for what it could possibly be. And these would be based on photo recognition software, the quality of my photo, and, things like color and patterns within that photo. Now, I'm familiar with this plant, and I'm pretty sure that it's winter aconite. And you can see on the winter aconite, it says in green, visually similar and seen nearby. So iNaturalist is allowed to use my location, and it's using that location to draw observations that others have made nearby to see what it could possibly be. And I can learn more about this observation by selecting the blue eye. From there, iNaturalist draws information from Wikipedia to give us a little bit of background on whatever it is we're identifying. So I can learn that this is in the buttercup family and where it's native to. You can also see a map of observations, which are those observations from iNaturalist itself. Now, since I'm fairly confident, and we could also scroll through these pictures and see a little bit more, but I'm fairly confident, so I'm going to select winter aconite, and you can see that where it used to say view suggestions, it now says winter aconite. So now if we move down through, we have a notes section, so you could use that notes sections to record some things about what you saw, or remind yourself about something. I might particularly use it if I was recording an insect or a bird or a mammal or something, to record what behavior I saw. That could be useful in an identification. Next, we have the date and time that I took the photograph, and then we have location, which I've put a gray box over my location so that you don't have my particular latitude and longitude, but you would be able to see that. And then next is geoprivacy. So iNaturalist gives us 3 options for when we upload this post, how our geography is recorded. So you can leave it as open, which records the point where you took the photograph. So, if you're recording a red maple tree in a state park, there's no reason not to leave your location open unless, you're particularly concerned about your own privacy. Next option is obscured. And so this is what I'm going to select for this observation, because I'm standing at my house and I would rather not have my house's location recorded. And so obscuring my location is going to randomize it in a 12 by 12 mile square. So that still gives researchers some information on what I'm seeing and where I am, but it maintains some of my own privacy. I could also select private, which would remove any location data from my post. Captive or cultivated means, so if you're recording a plant that's in a garden, or an animal at a zoo, or one of your house plants, you would definitely want to mark that as a yes. This is really useful for researchers if they know that this is captive or cultivated. In this case, I don't believe it is. It's possible it's a garden escape, but I don't think it is. So I'm going to say no. Projects are those projects that I was talking about previously, so you can join projects and then manually add to them. So if I was on Granite Mountain Preserve, I would turn this to on so that HHLT could have that information about the flora and fauna that I was seeing. However, I'm not, so I'm going to leave it off. And so then I've recorded my post and I can select share. This will upload that observation to the iNaturalist database and allow for that network of users to help me and confirm that my identification was correct, or let me know that maybe it's actually this other species. That's it for this episode of Nature Time with Nicole and Julia. I hope you learned a little bit about how to use iNaturalist. Join us next time.